Gentlemen, you may have got to a stage in your life where you feel woke, broke, and choked, and you're a little bit tired of the forces that have been suppressing you and conspiring to keep you in your little box. Well, how would you feel if I were to tell you there are 8 hacks that you can apply today for zero cash down on the barrel, which will help you to reclaim your frame? Stick with me a little while and we'll dive in a little deeper. Just a little background to this. I was a young man in the 80s and 90s, and I grew up through the first woke wave. I was sympathetic to many of those causes, but as I got older, I started to feel like I was becoming increasingly isolated and being labeled as part of the very thing I once used to fight against. I found that I was being assaulted by terms like potential rapist, mansplainer, toxic male. Well, lately, I've woke up to the fact that this has been a self-defeating process for me, and it's time for me to reclaim some of my frame. So let's have a look at what those hacks might be. Hack number 1, get fitter. You don't have to get jacked, stacked, and shredded. You don't have to look like those muscle-bound icons that are so popular in social media. You just have to get out at least once a day, go for a walk. A 20-minute brisk walk is going to reduce your statistical odds of having a stroke or heart attack quite greatly. Get yourself a dog. Go out there, clear your mind. Drop some bad habits. Drop the sugar. Get yourself back on track. Stretch. Do small incremental steps which are going to improve your longevity, your health, your balance, reduce your blood pressure, and just give you a more optimistic outlook on life. It is cost-free, and it's something that everybody can control in their lives if they choose to do so. Life hack number 2 is take better charge of your time. You have the technology at your disposal. Use your calendar, link it to your phone, set reminders for yourself. Get to know what your schedule is. We all have just 24 hours in a day. Elon has 24 hours in the day. You have 24 hours in the day. So, one of the crucial differences in life is how we use our time, is it not? For zero cost, zero money on the barrel, you can use this life hack to improve your frame. Take charge of your time. Life hack number 3 for zero cash on the barrel is let your yes be yes and your no be no. Because if you backtrack on your decisions, essentially you're just proving to yourself that you are a liar. And because you've lied to yourself so often, you are going to be very, very unwilling to follow through on the decisions you make. So you need to start teaching the world that your yes means yes and your no means no. And thereby, you start to teach yourself. Start to learn how to trust yourself. Life hack number 3, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Your zero cost life hack number 4 is own your values, or at least reacquaint yourself with your values. Sit down and write down, what are your values? Are they to have dignity in life? Are they to have discipline in life? Are your values things like hard work, honesty, persistence? List your values, start to own them, start to role model them, and start to live them. For zero cost on the dollar, you can use life hack number 4, own your values. Zero cost life hack number 5 is ditch the dead weight. Instead of associating with people who have low standards, who are in a race to the bottom, associate yourself with people who have higher standards and who are in a race to the top. Find others who share your values, who can state your values, and who can hold you accountable. It costs you zero cash on the barrel. It's a very effective life hack, and it will raise your standards greatly. Life hack number 6 is think before you act. Many a great plan has been spoiled by poor impulse control, and poor impulse control is often caused by lack of forethought. Take time to listen to people. Count to 5 before you respond. Have a life strategy. Think it through. This will cost you $0 or cents. All you have to do is sit down and work out how to think before you act. Life hack number 7 is set up non-negotiable standards. There may be things out there which are really undermining and undercutting you. It may be the passive-aggressive behavior of colleagues. It may be people telling you that you're mansplaining when you're simply telling them the time. It may be snide criticisms, attitudes and biases that you see in the media. It can be any kind of undermining, undercutting, and undervaluing process in your life. Be selective. Cut out the things which aren't going to subscribe to your worldview. I'm talking about setting up standards for yourself which say, I'm not going to be undermined, I'm not going to be undercut. I have my own frame and I have every right to hold my frame. So, life hack number 7, no cash on the barrel. Set up your non-negotiables. And so, fellow seekers, we arrive at life hack number 8, another no cash down life hack you can use to improve your life and your outcomes. It is cut the noise to signal ratio. Signal is the things that you need to do, the projects that you have to achieve, the important things in your life. Noise is all the other stuff, the distractions, the screen sucking, the doom scrolling, the social media, the dog whistles. The highest achievers in life and those who can claim their frame are those who have a good grasp of signal to noise ratio. This means that once you've set up your strategies, don't just put them in the bottom drawer and pat yourself on the back. Get down to work. Cut out the noise, increase the signal. Improve your signal to noise ratio. And so, having outlined 8 life hacks that any man can adopt today at zero cost in order to improve their frame, I'd like to go in a little bit deeper and talk about what I consider to be the top 5 non-negotiables. So I'll talk about these again, give you my top 5 in descending order, and hope that these can be applied by yourself or anybody that you know and care for in order to achieve a better frame in life and to achieve better outcomes in your life too. So buckle up and here we go. And so my top life hacks for zero cash on the barrel, starting with number 5, are let your yes be yes and your no be no. The reason I've placed this in the top 5 is because many of our problems stem from our innate lack of trust in ourselves. And the reason that we don't trust ourselves often is because we have lied to ourselves so often. And so if we're in a habit of lying to ourselves when we make a decision or we pledge ourselves to something, often we know subconsciously we're not going to achieve it. And the reason we know we're not going to achieve it is because we've lied to ourselves so often and we know that we're just making face noise. So, a great way to overcome this self-imposed limitation or self-sabotage is to start to let your yes mean yes and your no mean no. Start to model that basic sense of honesty in your endeavors. Start to practice this with your friends and colleagues. Start to impose some kind of discipline on yourself. So when you say you're going to do something, follow through with it. Stop people pleasing. Instead of just saying yes to everything because you think it pleases people, start to say no to the things which don't suit your agenda. In short, life hack number 5 is let your yes be yes and your no be no. And coming in at number 4 of my top 5 zero cash on the barrel life hacks is take charge of your time. One of the problems that we face is because we go to sleep every day and wake up the next, hopefully, we tend to see time as a renewable resource. But the truth of the matter is that time is a scarce, non-renewable resource. It's interesting, is it not, that we put so much emphasis on trying to preserve non-renewable resources in other spheres, but when it comes to that most valuable resource we have, which is time, we tend to squander it. Take charge of time. Start to realize how valuable it is and how little of it you have left, because the bottom line is the clock's ticking. So, number 4 of my top 5 life hacks is take charge of your time. Coming in at number 3, the bronze medalist of my top 5 life hacks for a better frame is lose the dead weight. So many of us, for reasons of upbringing, misplaced loyalty, affection, call it what you will, tend to spend too much time with people who are in a race to the bottom. They may be people who are causing you to lapse when you're fighting an addiction, or causing you to lapse when you're fighting a negative thought process or set of ideals. Lose those people, marginalize and limit your exposure to those people because they are dead weight. And the problem with dead weight is that you can't float, swim, or proceed with weights around your ankles. So, life hack number 3 for a better frame and better outcomes. Choose your friends more wisely. Lose the dead weight. My silver medalist life hack for a better frame, coming in at number 2, is cut the signal to noise ratio. Too much of life is spent, wasted, expended needlessly on distractions. If you wish to have better frame, if you wish to hold more self-esteem and a more positive outlook and develop better outcomes for yourself, my strong advice is for you to reduce the noise in your life and to improve the signal bandwidth. By this I mean, have purpose, have your mission established, your strategies set out, and follow them to the exclusion of all of the dog whistles and distractions that might occur in everyday life. I strongly suggest that you take an audit of how much time you spend wasting. Multiply that by the days in the year, and it might be frightening for you to realize how much of your life and how much sunlight and midnight oil you are burning away needlessly. So, life hack number 2, silver medal. Cut the noise to signal ratio. Improve the signal, reduce the noise. And so we come to life hack number 1, top of the tree, the gold medalist of all life hacks for a better frame. Simply put, it is get fitter. The reason I say this is because anybody at any stage of their life can make positive improvements and take control over their fitness, even if it is to the nth degree. You can get fit by cutting out the bad stuff. You can cut out the unnecessary sugars, the unnecessary alcohol, the unnecessary fats. You can cut out the sedentary lifestyle. You don't have to go to the gym and get jacked. You can simply decide to go for a walk daily. Consider the benefits for your longevity. Consider the benefits for your sense of balance and for your blood pressure and for your heart health. Also consider the benefits for your brain health. Hydrate, take a walk, get out into the fresh air. Just do small, incremental things which are going to improve your health. You're going to thank yourself in 20 years' time. And let's face it, if you don't start now, you might not be around in 20 years' time to thank yourself. So life hack number 1 for a better frame for all of you out there is get fitter. So thank you for taking part, listening and watching, and I hope that you can adopt these 8 life hacks into your life. Remember, it doesn't cost you a penny. These are all things that you can do and achieve every day simply by sitting down with a pen and paper or getting off your backside and going for a walk, whatever. Like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time, fellow seeker. Looking forward to it already. Go well. So here I am in the second part of the long form. This is the part where most people have dipped out, lost interest, or succumbed to their low attention spans. I just wanted to share with you how I got to where I am right now with this particular video. My struggles over the previous couple of years have been plenty because I've been learning from scratch about how to become a creator and how to establish myself as a resource designer and as a life coach online, pivoting from education. What I've found, and one of my big takeaways of this last couple of weeks, is that we are useless without strategy. However, we can always form strategy in the ignorance of what it should be. Excuse the cat. By this I mean, I set myself up to do a YouTube channel and to create resources and to reach out to people using social media, misinformed largely about how much impact I personally could have. I failed to realize that I am less than a microbe in a bucket of seawater when it comes to how many people actively are out there on YouTube, out there on social media, and who may be in a position to access materials. So I decided to set myself up with a 24-month strategy to try and reach more people. This is the first long-form video that I'm putting out under this strategy. It is my intention to put out a long-form video each week at the same time so that you can set your watches by it. I'm going to try and follow the rules and the suggestions, the tips and hints that other creators have placed out there very kindly on YouTube. For example, we have retention rate, we have click-through rate, we have share rate. The algorithm for YouTube is an interest-based algorithm, and what it does is it will send this information to people who have similar interests. However, in order to qualify for that, you have to produce a video which is going to keep people engaged. What I'm doing here and now is not that. What I did in the first half of the video was where I timed myself to try and have little peaks of interest going through every couple of minutes so that people are less likely to fall asleep and wander off somewhere else. So, long story short, I am engaging in a long-form strategy here on YouTube. I am seeking to expand my global reach and to sell my resources and to sell my coaching to people. And I'm seeking to drill down to 2 main outlets. And those 2 main outlets will be YouTube and LinkedIn. I'm strongly of the opinion that LinkedIn is a very good place to go. And the reason for that is because people are going to be scrolling it while they're at work. It's the socially acceptable face of social media consumption. You can go onto LinkedIn and you can claim to be sharing information with colleagues. You can be job hunting. You can be CV building. There's any number of legitimate reasons why, while at work, you can be on LinkedIn. Nobody minds. So I think that LinkedIn is going to become the new Facebook, the new YouTube. And also, let's bear in mind that the people who are on LinkedIn are in employment largely, or wish to be, so they're aspirational, and they may have disposable income. They therefore represent a very useful audience to anybody who is designing courses, designing resources, or offering coaching. YouTube too. The reason I'm choosing YouTube is because it is the second largest search engine in the world. Also, YouTube consumption has changed greatly. More and more people are watching YouTube on their televisions, their smart TVs. So what's happening is that YouTube is becoming a major source of entertainment. And my prediction is that YouTube will start to nudge Netflix out over the next couple of years. There may be side effects of that. It may be that YouTube insists on getting paid for. Often, the way that these things happen is that a platform will extend its reach massively for free and then suddenly decide to charge. Well, when that time comes, that's a decision we'll all have to make. The final thing I will mention about this particular strategy is that it is an inherently flawed strategy. Just to recap, the strategy of using LinkedIn and YouTube solely to garner attention is flawed because you're essentially building your house on the sand. And by that, I mean you are renting space on platforms that owe you nothing. The platforms are designed to have retention and to keep an audience growing. They will punish you harshly if you cause them to deviate from that. But another side of this is that unless you can gather emails and take charge of your own intellectual property, you could post on YouTube for 10 years and then suddenly wake up to find it's all disappeared. So what I would recommend for anybody who is engaging in this form of presentation is to put a lot of effort into getting emails. And the way that I would do this right now is to encourage anybody to click on the link below so that they can go into my PayHip store and access the free coaching backpack resource, for example. Or I can create PDFs, which again can go over into, Tally or Prevo, and then start my automated email sequences. At this particular moment in time, which is July 2025, I am at the inception of setting up my systems so that I can reach people more effectively. If you're willing to and you're interested in following this journey, I will put out long form each week. But at the end of each long form, I will add a diary such as this, which anybody who's interested in sharing my ideas or offering ideas to me, well, you can participate. So like and subscribe, etc., 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 blah, blah, all of that. By all means, especially reach out to me and give me your email address, because I'd love to be able to put that into my back pocket for future use. I hope this is useful to you. I hope that it can show a more human side of what we're capable of achieving here. And I hope that next time I present to you, my cat will keep its paws to itself and not interrupts the flow at the very end. Anyway, peace out, fellow seeker. Catch you next time. Missing you already.